Righto, so here we go. Preparing Primarchs, Roboute Guilliman, the final video, the completed model. So this is the big fella himself. Finally finished, 100% done, and currently waiting for his very first game against, it's going to be against Primarchs actually. So he's looking quite miffed. There's a few things I really liked about this model and a few things that shat me to tears. It's a very, very clean and simple model. But, you know, all in all, I fucking really quite enjoyed painting it. We'll start off with the base. If I can get the bloody thing out, I'm working left-handed because I'm holding the camera in the right. Come on out, you prick. Well, that's just typical. There we go. We'll start off with the base. The base is one of the least interesting ones out of all of the Primarch bases, I think. There really isn't that much to it. It's squares and lines. You can't really think of any other stone way to finish it other than bloody a marble finish, which has come up quite nice. But getting this all square and straight with a file was a pain in the ass. And these masts were resin. Now I've replaced them, try and get them in focus, replaced them with brass and stuck them in. According to the original picture, I've stuck them in the wrong side. That one is supposed to go over here and this one is supposed to go over here. They also just had them painted plain, but I do know that they had, like you can have an enamel, like the old Romans used to paint enamels over their brass standards. Greens, whites and reds. So I've just stuck with the white because dipping and enamel dipping on an actual without a indented embossing plate is actually quite hard to do. I know it's the future, but you know, if it's going to go Roman, I might as well keep some standards. You know, these little plaques on these plinths you can actually read. Upon saying that, I'm having trouble reading them, which is fucking ironic. But yeah, all nicely cleaned. It's nice and straight. The base sits nicely. I put a little wet mud underneath the rock so it ties in with the wet mud bases of the rest of my army. I'm really quite happy with it. Because I did both the surface together, the marble matches here to there and on the front. I matched it all together. Yeah, and yeah, it's quite a nice little model. I'm trying to get in. You can see some of the colour textures on the. Come on, get in there. The colour textures I did on the knee there, but I still am having trouble getting that lovely smooth finish that you so often see on these models. Well, I'm not a professional painter, man. I'm an electrician. What the fuck do you expect? I do the best I can with what I got and the skills I got. This is a first attempt at a Primarch. And, you know, for a model that cost, what, $100 and $200 or whatever it was, you kind of expect, you know, the people who buy it to have a certain skill level. There's his gun hidden underneath his cape there. You see the different textures of the cape. You'd expect someone who can afford a model like this to have a certain skill level. I think I passed with the bare minimum needed for this chap. I think I will be able to do better. I'll come back at the end of this, and I might have it buy another one and have another crack at painting them and see if I do better. See, I'm not happy with that blend there on his power fist. I've also cut away the strap here because it was just so knotty when it came from Forge World. And the sword was nothing spectacular. I'm happy enough with him. I've got most of the details. Everything's within the raised lines and tidy. And it's a beautiful model. Every time I look at it, and if you look at it through a camera, you'll find more faults than fine work. That's what I find, at least when I look at my own stuff. But in the end of it, I'm very happy with how he turned out. It's my first attempt. My first attempt at a Primarch. And, you know, His eyes aren't too bad. He doesn't look too constipated. Yeah, I'm fucking happy with him. I'm fucking really happy with him. So he'll go in there. Try and get him back in. So that's Roboute Guilliman, Primarch of the 13th Legion of Mankind, the Ultramarines. Fuck yeah, big fella. Go get him. So yeah, I realised I made a bit of an error in calling this this playlist Painting Primarchs. So seeing that's one Primarch done, I'll put him back over here. Primarchs, Painting Primarchs is a plural. So I'll give you a little hint of what I'm... Actually, before I do, look at that. That's what he looked like. He's a bit blonder in that one. There's a lot of changes you can see, like here, that compared to mine. He's blonder, he's paler. There's no gold trim, it's just dark shaded in the work. The marble is a brushed marble. It's got more stripes. I think, honestly, I can say that I think mine looks nicer. The model, of course, is just spectacular. But the standards are a lot more weathered and darker. And I just don't think that shines off the, the magnificence of a Primarch taking a pose like that. You need bright, everything would be polished and bright, like the Queen. They said the Queen, everywhere she goes, smells like new paint, according to her. God bless her soul, or the King now, I guess. So, yeah, I think he's done all right. So, Painting Primarchs, this will be the next one off the bat. Move that heavy mixing plate. Now, a few of you watched some of my videos might know I've got this one and another one. And here he is, number 2, Lorgar. Quick look at the cover sheet. I'll do another video and try and do this properly next time. Doing the base, doing the weapon, doing the body, doing the hand, doing the head, doing the shoulders, doing everything, and then putting it all together. Looking at this, he looks a lot less complicated than Guilliman and a lot less elaborate than the other ones. But he's the next Primarch that will be painted on this series. And yeah, it'll take less than a year than it took me to do him. I truly reckon the reason I didn't do him so quickly, Guilliman, is because that I was afraid him being the pinnacle of the army, I'd lose interest. But yeah, I'm not losing interest anytime soon. Anyway, love the lot of yous. Give the missus a kiss and I'll catch yous all later. Cheerio.